Thanks for joining us for National Focus. I'm Kerdisha St. Louis. Coming up, the Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit wants OECS citizenry to be more aware of climate change matters, 38 recognized at 10 annual sports awards, and over $400,000 contract signed for repairs to the roof for the stadium. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. Got it? Taking care of us can be so easy.
Take good care of the children.
Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit wants Dominicans and other nationals of other OECS states to be more cognizant of the effects of climate change. The Dominica leader is concerned that the governments of the region are way ahead of their nationals as it relates to advocacy regarding the phenomena. Honorable Skerrit made that call at the opening ceremony of the Third Council of Ministers Environmental Sustainability meeting on Wednesday.
I get the impression that the governments are way ahead of our citizens in respect to advocating the importance of the environment and issues of climate change than our citizens. And my hope and prayer is that our citizens, the school children, and the wider community can have a better appreciation of the real impact of climate change on our way of life. It is costing us millions of dollars to put in place mitigating mechanisms to combat the effects of climate change. Our coasts are being eroded, our beaches are being eroded, undermining the vital tourism industry in many of our sister countries. Because in some of the countries, the tourists rarely come to enjoy the beach and the sun. And if those beaches are being affected, how are we going to sustain our tourism industry? And I think people have to start appreciating the real danger to our way of life.
Meantime, Director General of the OECS Commission, Dr. Didicus Jules, recounted the traumatic events that have taken place in the region over the past decade as a result of climate change, saying that climate change will make it harder to escape poverty. He lauded Dominica's Prime Minister, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, for rallying the region to tighten response and build resilience against the effects of climate change.
With the advent of Erica in Dominica, as much as it has been a tragedy for Dominica, it provided a unique opportunity for all of us in the OECS, including Dominica. Because in discussions with Prime Minister Skerrit, he was very clear when we asked how can the OECS be of assistance, very clear to indicate that with climate change we can expect rapid onslaughts events like these to be the new norm. And he would not like to see other member states suffer what Dominica has suffered. As a result of his intervention, we are now actively engaged in discussions with all of the regional mechanisms, SEDIMA, the Regional Security Service, the Martinican and the French disaster preparedness apparatus, so that we can tighten our response mechanisms, strengthen our predictive capacity for such events, and be able to seamlessly respond as a unified single space to any disaster like Erica occurring anywhere else in the OECS.
One of the aspects of the OECS Environment Ministers meeting is a review of lessons learned from Tropical Storm Erica. The two-day meeting concluded on Thursday. The Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit called on the relevant authorities to uphold a regular maintenance plan for the Windsor Park Stadium. The Dominica leader made the appeal at the official signing ceremony of a contract with the Fortify construction of over $400,000 for roof repairs at the stadium. The Honorable Prime Minister revealed that the Ministry of Sports has already begun discussions for a maintenance plan for the stadium.
The hope, as we've seen, is to spend some money every year on maintaining the stadium. And what I intend to do is to set up with the approval of the Cabinet a separate account where proceeds, a percentage of the proceeds which comes to the stadium, for the use of the stadium, will go into that fund, and that the committee can have access to maintain the stadium, because sometimes they need a gallon of paint and You have to go through all sorts of rigmaroles to get a gallon of paint. We know how the government system operates. So that's something that we'll be doing, and I'm hoping that very soon we will take a decision to set aside some funds from all activities into a special fund so that they can use for the maintenance of the stadium.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Constituency Empowerment, Manja Fagan, gave details of the contract.
The scope of works will include the removal of 100% of the galvanized sheeting of the Irving and Grayson Shillingford stand, otherwise known as the Presider stand, and replacement with new PVF2 U-profile 24-gauge zinc sheeting. The removal of the affected galvanized sheeting of the roofs of both the Caleb Laura and Clem George stand, otherwise known as the Northern stand, and the Norbert Phillip and Adam Sanford stand, otherwise known as the Southern stand, and replacement with new PVF2 U-profile 24-gauge zinc sheeting.
The Honourable Minister for Sports, Justina Charles, reiterated the Honourable Prime Minister's statements that the facility must be maintained. She explained how the government would go forward with the maintenance plan.
Our maintenance plan is one of the things that we have to revisit very, very often, and as a result of that, the stadium board and the manager has as their responsibility to ensure that they can review, look at the facility and draw to our attention the need for any repairs to be done. And so we have a maintenance plan to ensure that we can keep this facility at a standard that is appealing to all.
It is anticipated that works will be completed by July. 45 Construction are the contractors for the project. The Ministry of Youth and Sports held its 10th Annual Sports Awards at the Fortian Hotel on Wednesday under the theme, Honoring Sporting Achievements. In attendance were the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, members of Cabinet, permanent secretaries, sporting officials, among others. The award ceremony is the Ministry's way of showing appreciation for the achievements in the field of sports for individuals and groups that continue to make Dominica proud through their active participation in sporting events throughout the year. Minister for Sports and Youth, Honorable Justina Charles, stated that although there is still a lot of work to be done in terms of infrastructural developments, financial investments in holding sporting events such as these are still top priorities for the government.
This year, we are presenting 38 awards to deserving organizations and individuals who have achieved in sports for 2015. The cost for staging this award ceremony is in the region of $50,000. For us as a government, while the need for infrastructural development become exceedingly important as a result of environmental conditions and the most recent natural disaster, this in no way underscores the importance of investing in sports. We continue to provide annually through budgetary allocation for the development of sports on the island. The programs of the sports division are supported annually to the tune of $2 million, which is mainly towards a youth sports program and support to community and national sports organizations.
Trevor Shillingford is the sports coordinator in the sports division.
During this evening's function, awards will be given out to a number of individuals and groups who have done well in 2015. The awards will be given in the form of trophies, cash prizes, and other in-kind presentations. In observance of the 10th year of this ceremony, the Ministry will be presenting a special award to someone who has contributed meaningfully towards the success of the National Sports Awards. That is a special recognition award. We are happy with the growth of the sports awards over the years and look forward to implementing new approaches as we seek to make further improvements as we look towards another 10 years of the event.
The award for Sportsman of the Year went to Tyrone Theophile for his contribution to cricket, and the Sportswoman of the Year went to Shani Angol for her contribution to athletics. The government of Dominica, through the Ministry of Justice, Immigration and National Security, held a one-day sensitization workshop on a Thursday to begin a National Risk Assessment (NRA) for money laundering and the counter-financing of terrorism. This is part of efforts to ensure that Dominica complies with the Financial Action Task Force (FATF), which is the international organization which develops policies to combat money laundering.
This exercise that we're launching today will seek to guide Dominica in assessing its money laundering and terrorist financing risks, with a view to helping the jurisdiction use the information to guide the information gained to design a more effective and risk-based anti-money laundering and combating financing terrorism regime.
Honorable Minister for Justice, Immigration and National Security, Reuben Blackmore, noted that this will ensure that Dominica has a robust financial system. The minister lauded the work of the Dominica Labour Party administration in getting Dominica off the financial blacklist in 2001 by developing policies and making legislative amendments. This includes the establishment of the Financial Intelligence Unit. He says, however, there is much more to be done.
So that exercise, therefore, in a nutshell, will identify our weaknesses and to develop and to advise us to develop approaches to further strengthen our system. What is important is for us to do what is required of us. And no one should be allowed to define us. You ought to know who you are. And in the final analysis, I think that we have done so well.
To further strengthen the work of the Financial Intelligence Unit, the Minister for Justice disclosed that a director and a legal officer will be appointed. Attorney General Levi Peter, who is also chairman of the Advisory Committee on Money Laundering, agrees that this assessment is necessary to avoid Dominica being placed on, as he calls it, the negative list.
It is a critical exercise insofar as the security of our own financial system is concerned. It is also critical to the continued proper and full participation of this jurisdiction in the regional and international financial system. All of you would doubtless have heard of correspondent banking. Many of you would have heard of some of the challenges that are likely to be faced by most jurisdictions, and certainly most Caribbean jurisdictions, over the coming years for other reasons. But what we do not want to do is to create additional challenges for our system. It is critical that we ensure that our system is functional in a way which complies with the requirements of the regional and international financial systems, so that we secure our correspondent banking arrangements, but also ensure that we keep Dominica out of the clutches of the negative listing.
The Attorney General intends to table amendments to the Proceeds of the Criminal Activity Act and the Money Laundering Act in Parliament soon. Participants of the workshop included stakeholders from financial and non-financial institutions in the private sector. The National Risk Assessment is being funded by the World Bank to the tune of $150,000. You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
I had a bleeding disorder that I did not know about, and they had to be transfusing me continuously. I got 56 units.
Being there at the blood bank, I was like, yo, I'm actually saving someone's life.
You never know when you can go.
Give blood. I have done it, and believe it or not, it don't hurt.
I won't be scared. I'll give. You know you're gonna give blood. I'll make sure she does.
Sit down at the blood bank in a comfortable environment for 45 minutes.
Helping people.
You are stimulating your body to make brand new cells.
You get free cookies, you get juice.
Glad to know your blood group. Feels good.
I felt as a better person.
It's a good thing to be alive, and I can thank God that I'm there and I'm enjoying life.
A pilot project on a community policing plan will soon be implemented in the Northeast. On Friday, at a handing over ceremony of vehicles to the police department, Honorable Minister for National Security Rayburn Blackmore commended the police department for preparing and presenting an action plan for community policing.
I've been so advised that on the 7th of next month, the police will be meeting with the villagers of Kerdisha, I've been told, to set the platform to see the commencement of the community policing plan. We have gotten the commitment from your Prime Minister that all the financial resources you need shall be provided. I wish you well, and I do hope that the officers using those vehicles will demonstrate the high sense of responsibility, because finances are tight now.
The Honorable Minister highlighted some criminal activity that could be abated by community policing.
I've been reading a number of reports. I've been interacting with a number of persons living in, especially Kenfield East, the wall houses, and other areas. Coptown, where persons' homes have been burglarized, and because the criminals wait and study them, and most times they operate during the daytime. It means, therefore, that the police too must pay special attention to those areas.
In more news, the Honorable Minister for Urban Renewal, Senator Robert Tong, has revealed that partnerships have been formed with several tourism, government and private sector stakeholders to ensure that all are aware of the importance of tourism to Dominica's economy and that all nationals play a part in moving Dominica forward. Speaking at the launch of the 2016 Tourism Awareness Month, the Honorable Senator believes that part of this movement for growth is understanding the 4 pillars of tourism.
To truly move tourism forward for the stakeholders and the governments, and for us to reap the rewards, we must understand the 4 basic pillars. The first one being awareness and marketing. In order for any guest or any visitor to want to come to Dominica, we have to ensure that the country is known. We must advise the potential visitor about our natural beauty, and we have to be very pointed and targeted with our marketing. We can't waste our marketing dollars. The next step is access. After someone has seen those beautiful images of Dominica, they want to come to Dominica. How are they going to come to Dominica? So the visitor needs to know how to travel to Dominica. We have to continue to lobby for better air access to and from Dominica.
The other pillars mentioned by the Honorable Senator include customer service and experience. He spoke of the economic impact of the tourism sector on Dominica.
Many of us are aware that tourism is a major contributor to the economy of Dominica and contributes in excess of over $340 million. And in terms of jobs, both direct and indirect, it generates over 3,000 jobs. So you can well imagine the impact it has on the economy.
The Honorable Senator divulged that his ministry has several plans in store to result in more visitor arrivals.
We clearly understand the challenges the industry faces, and we are ready to implement a suite of interventions which have been suggested by the stakeholders and vetted by the stakeholders to ensure that we achieve our objectives. These interventions will increase employment, increase the revenue to the country, including the bus owners. It will improve the guest experience, and they also improve the service to the visitors and increase the revenue of the ship. Once we can achieve those things, when the ship's executives are making a decision as to which countries they're going to visit, obviously the country that has the best score in terms of guest experience, the country that has the best score in terms of revenue to the ship, that is obviously the country that they will choose. During the off-season, we plan to make many changes in the best interests of the country. Some persons may not like some of those changes, but the important thing is to do what is in the best interest of the country and of our people.
And finally, the Honorable Minister for Health, Dr. Kenneth Daru, has expressed sympathy to the family of Dr. Barry Strafford on his passing on April 25th in Canada. The Honorable Minister for Health says that Dr. Strafford is synonymous with eye care services in Dominica, having established the Brenda Strafford Foundation in memory of his wife.
Dominica would have been one of the numerous beneficiaries of the Brenda Strafford Foundation, which is a foundation that Dr. Barry Sanford set up in memory of his loving wife. He had a tragic loss of his wife in 1974, and he then founded the Brenda Strafford Foundation to honor her memory. The Brenda Strafford Foundation would have committed to a number of trusts throughout the years. They would have contributed to a number of health sectors over the world and in the Caribbean, I know Haiti, Jamaica, etc., providing care for seniors even in their hometown in the home country of Canada.
He added that the foundation responded to Dominica after Hurricane David, rebuilding a few health centers that were destroyed. His foundation was also instrumental in facilitating the training of Dr. Hazel Shillingford-Ricketts, Dominica's leading ophthalmologist. Dr. Barry Strafford received Dominica's highest award, the Cicero Award of Honor, for his contribution to healthcare services to the nation. Dr. Paul Ricketts and his wife, Dr. Hazel Shillingford-Ricketts, will represent Dominica at the funeral of Dr. Barry Strafford in Canada on Friday, May 6. In today's tip, balance your food choices over time. Not every food has to be perfect. When eating a food high in fat, salt, or sugar, select other foods that are low in these ingredients. If you miss out on any food group one day, make up for it the next. Your food choices over several days should fit together in a healthy pattern. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on the past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Kerdisha St. Louis. Thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.
I had a bleeding disorder that I did not know about, and they had to be transfusing me continuously. I got 56 units.
Being there at the blood bank, I was like, yo, I'm actually saving someone's life.
You never know when you can go.
Give blood.
I have done it, and believe it or not, it don't hurt.
I won't be scared. I'll give. You know you're gonna give blood. I'll make sure she does.
Sit down at the blood bank in a comfortable environment for 45 minutes.
Helping people.
You are stimulating your body to make brand new cells.
You get free cookies, you get juice.
Glad to know your blood group. Feels good.
I felt as a better person.
It's a good thing to be alive, and I can thank God that I'm there and I'm enjoying life.